It's Leigh, bitch.
Come get the tea from me. LVB. Welcome back to What's the Gossip, and today we're joined by singer-songwriter and 3-time Guinness World Record holder. All impressive stuff, so it comes as no surprise that she's also a Britney Spears enthusiast. Please welcome Melanie Fontana. How are you, Melanie?
I'm doing fabulously. How are you?
I'm great. Are you celebrating the 4th of March in any way?
What are we doing today? No, I'm working today.
But Melanie, the 4th of March is a very important day in pop music.
What is the 4th of March?
27 years ago to this very day in London, the auditions were held for Spice Girls. This is a very big day.
Why do I feel so old now with you just saying that? Oh, tell me what you want.
We're the same age, Melanie. We are old ladies.
Oh my God, and I remember the day I first saw those girls and fell in love.
Same. I made a t-shirt dress.
Oh my God. Well, I went straight to Claire's and I bought all their Chupa Chup lollipop collabs.
What do you call it?
Is it Chupa Chup or Chupa Chup?
Chupa Chup.
Chup Chup. I've never actually, what's really strange is this is the first time in my life I've ever said the word Chup Chup out loud. I've only ever just read it on the wrapper of the lollipop.
So you've only ever heard it inside your head?
I've only heard it in my head and I was just sort of like, is the U an or an oo sound? Is it Chupa Chup or Chupa Chup?
We're probably going to find out that we're both wrong.
Yeah, it's probably like Chupa Chape.
Cooper Coop. In England, we had the Spice Girls first, and I was like a crackhead for them. I had all the CDs, posters, dolls, fragrance, Pepsi cans, books, anything I could get my hands on. I was like a little crackhead. But which was your favorite Spice Girl song?
Too Much, Mama.
Ooh.
I did love Mama. I was a fan of the ballads, right?
To Become One.
Yeah, To Become One. Because I know Too Much opened up the movie. That was like the first, like when the movie started, when the opening credits started rolling, it was bow, bow, bow.
So good, isn't it? So good.
Iconic.
So who was your favorite Spice Girl?
Mel B.
Oh, I met Mel B outside a hotel. She was sat on the floor having a cigarette in London.
Why does that sound so Melanie B to me?
It was literally first thing in the morning as we were leaving the hotel, and we were actually going to the Spice Girl Museum, and she was just sat there having a cigarette. They're like, this story just sounds like I'm making it up.
No, but I believe you. This is 100% believable.
So as we walked past her, I noticed like the tattoos on her arm, and I was like, I swear that's Mel B. She's got the same tattoos. And they were like, no, it can't be. And I went, I think it is, And they were like, if it is her, just leave her alone. And I was like, oh, but come on.
But also once in a lifetime. So you're like weighing out the pros and cons in your head. Do I approach and potentially piss her off or leave her with a weird impression of me? Or do I miss out on this moment in my life? I mean, I'm a bit selfish. I would have gone for it.
So they told me not to do it. They said, it's too early in the morning. She'll be pissed off. Just leave her alone. I was like, yeah, you're right. And just as we turned the corner, I was like, no, fuck this. And I ran over and I was like, Melanie.
That is...
You could see on her face, she was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Just been up for probably like a half hour, having my first cigarette of the day. What the fuck?
I asked her for a photo and she said yes, but on the grounds that I filtered the shit out of it. And I was like, oh, darling, there isn't a photo that leaves this phone without some sort of filter or app on it.
Honey, we are the new Photoshop gods. We will Facetune, we'll cinch that waist. Well, got a little dark circle, not anymore.
God help me if I ever have children. I'll be sticking fake lashes and filters and tans on them, airbrushing out the dribble.
Getting ready for school. Children, child-sized blush brush.
Contoured babies in our future. So Melanie, you've worked with Britney, Justin Bieber, Dua Lipa, The Chainsmokers, Aaron Carter, and boy band megastars BTS.
I have.
What is a regular day like for you?
Well, actually, you're kind of looking at it. It's not as glamorous as it as it sounds. When you list off all of these credits, I'm like, who are you talking about? Is that me? Actually me? Okay, well, there she is. My life is quite different from the life of a pop star. I do spend a lot of time right here at this desk where I'm speaking to you from, because this is also my, we have 2 studios in the house. My husband is a music producer, very successful, very talented. I also have my own little room in the house so I can just sit and write on my own. Often my days begin like this. I wake up I make myself some food. We do all those like Hello Fresh, Blue Apron. And then we head off into the studio around 1:00. And since I don't want to say the C word, since the C word hit, it has been all Zoom sessions. So we've been writing with a lot of people. So we'll get on and we'll be working with someone like David Guetta or Anne Marie, just like this here on Zoom.
So to avoid saying the C word, we will call it Miss Rona and the pandemic, the Pandora.
The Pandora. We've been calling it the vid here in the States. Did a bid with the vid.
So now we're in a Pandora caused by Miss Rona. Has it affected the way you work much?
The answer to that question is very simple. No, my life has not changed. The only difference is, I mean, while it has been absolutely horrendous for a lot of people, and I am very sensitive to that because shit, I cannot imagine getting an email from my boss being like, look, this is you're furloughed. Sorry, no pay. I can't imagine. I just like it would break me inside to feel like, oh my God, my whole life has been invalidated by a fucking virus. But it has been actually amazing for the creative community because we realized, wow, we can connect on FaceTime or Skype or Zoom or Google Meet or something, a Bodem, something. We've realized, wow, we can actually write songs on Zoom. We don't need to fly, from the UK to LA for a writing session to work alongside someone like Dua or Anne Marie or even Mabel, who has been here in the States working. I was just, texting with her. I was like, girl, we could just hop on Zoom and write anytime you want. It has connected me with more people than I have ever thought I would be connected with in my life, because distance is no longer the excuse for not being able to be creative, because the creatives have adapted to this strange new world and we're writing every day here on Zoom. So I leave my house, I go to my studio, which is attached to my house, and I open up my iPad and I'm like, hey guys, let's work. And then for 5 or 6 hours, I'm just chatting with my friends.
So how did you get started in music? Did you always want to be a singer or did you want to be a songwriter?
Okay, so from a very, very young age, I was obsessed with those who created the music. I was sort of like a producerophile. I would open up, the CDs I would buy at my, local music shop. And I would just be like, who produced this? Oh, Max Martin. Oh, Puff Daddy. Oh, it was just the list at the time. It was a lot of David Foster. I was really interested to know, who's A&R? Tommy Mottola, Mariah Carey's ex. So I was very interested from the beginning in those who ran things behind the curtain. Even though I myself I wanted to be a pop star. Britney Spears, she burst onto the scene and I burst forth in a way myself. Like it was like when Britney's persona was born, I as a musician was born. If it wasn't for Britney, we wouldn't be talking right now. Truly, she was why I decided to make a demo. Begged my mom, I'm 12 now, mind you, I'm 12 years old. Mom, I'm a good singer, I swear. I'm like, she's been in plays, she's done the school music thing. Let's see what happens with this demo. So I go and I record a cover CD of just random ballads. Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know by Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, I Turn to You, Etta James, At Last. So I made this demo CD at 12 and I just started the snowball rolling at that point. And it just was getting bigger and bigger. And suddenly a local manager was interested in taking care of me. And my mom was like, thank God, because this isn't my wheelhouse at all. So I suddenly had a manager at age 13. I took myself way too seriously. And I think that's sort of the key to getting started. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to take yourself so seriously. And to me, in my head, I was going to be the next Britney. So I had to find Britney Spears' agent in New York City and get signed to Britney's agent. So I was seeking out people who created these artists. I just sort of understood from a young age, it was a lot of behind the scenes shit had to go down before the curtains could be drawn and you could see this artist. So for me, it was like, let me find Carson Adler, Britney Spears' acting agent, and get signed with them. And I did. So it was like, I owe it all to her. I owe it to her.
Back in the day on the home hi-fi, there used to be like a karaoke button which stripped the vocals off a track, and I was obsessed with studying the background vocals and harmonies.
Yes, we had that too.
And nowadays, if I see a stem pack for a song online, even a song I hate, I'll go through it and listen to how a song is put together or constructed with the stems. Is that how your mind works too?
That's literally how my cousin had a hi-fi. I didn't have one. I just had like a boom box, basically, that a really high quality. My parents always gave me nice stuff. I was very lucky to have super supportive. If it was music related, my parents made sure it was great. I'd have nice headphones. I had a nice stereo, but my cousin had the hi-fi. So if I wanted to perform a song, he would take a cassette tape, put it in the cassette tape of the hi-fi, hit record, and take out the lead vocal. So I would then have the karaoke track, or as they call it nowadays, it's called the TV track, because I guess for live TV, that's what you would sing to. So I would have this TV track and I would sing all my favorite songs. Chumbawamba, Tub Thumper. I had him take out the lead vocal on that so I could sing. I'm just aging myself so bad right now. Blue, Da Ba Dee by Eiffel 65.
Banger.
Still bangs. It slaps to this day. Eiffel 65. Let's collab.
So I have the best story concerning that track. I play it still to this day in the shower, and I follow my neighbours on Twitter, and I noticed she'd posted, "Who the fuck is playing Blue Dabba Dee?" With a follow-up tweet threatening to hunt them down. Fast forward a week later, and I noticed she was hanging out in her garden, so using a Bluetooth speaker, I start blasting the a cappella version at her, like, "I'm blue dabba dee dabba da," and all I hear is, "You bastard!"
Only you. I don't know you that well yet, but I can already tell this is an only you situation. Would have.
Thank you.
This is classically.
So you've worked with all these massive stars. Who's the next artist you want to work with? And of course, I assume you want to work with Britney again.
I mean, to me, honestly, I've said this before in other interviews, but I truly would love to have a more executive role in the next Britney Spears album. I would love to help EP, even if it wasn't me, right? Let's say they get somebody like Pharrell. I would love to be a part of the executive production team, because I have studied this woman under a microscope since age 11. So for me, she is something I know. I mean, she's someone I think I know, because I don't know if anyone really knows anybody until you meet them and talk to them. But from a musical standpoint, I feel like I know Britney inside and out. I know her runs. I know how she likes to sing. I know how the volume at which she likes to sing. I know where her range is most strong. So obviously I would love to work with Britney again. Dua Lipa, she is such a professional, goddess, Amazonian goddess. So tall, so beautiful, so put together. When she came to my house to record Good in Bed last year, it was like she didn't even need the lyric sheet. She just had everything memorized, and she was so sweet. I would love to work with Dua again. As far as people I've never worked with that I would love to work with, I'd love to get, it's all girls. I'm a girl's girl right now. I'm very girl's girl right now. Selena Gomez, she slays me. Her voice, she has just something in her voice that just makes me feel like something. She makes my heart feel something when she sings. So I would love to write with or for her.
What about the holy trinity of Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, and Hilary Duff?
They were, to me, when I was young, that was like the holy trifecta. When Paris came out with her first single, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It was Screwed, and then she had...
Screwed?
Yes.
Oh, you are a real one.
I'm telling you.
Oh my God, yes, you are the real deal.
Mine came first, then Screwed, right? It was that order.
No. It was supposed to originally be Screwed first, but Haley Duff had recorded the same song. So Paris leaked her version to the radio stations, to get one ahead. But the version Paris leaked was the Cara Diaguardi demo.
Okay, Cara Diaguardi, she's a very, not just a successful songwriter, she's also a successful music publisher. She has a whole publishing company. She's no joke.
So Cara sang the demo of Screwed, and of course Paris leaked hers to the radio. So yeah, Paris Hilton's music, amazing. Hilary Duff's music, iconic. The first demo I ever recorded was Hilary Duff's Why Not, because I thought it was rock music.
Well, I really did too, like at the time. And then when Avril came out, like shortly after that, I believe, I was like, wait, this is actually hard. Like to me, Avril Lavigne was like hard rock and Hilary Duff was pop rock.
Easy listening rock.
Easy listening rock. That album with Why Not and
Metamorphosis,
that album was really like the soundtrack. That was the year, I mean, even though the album itself was a couple of years old, I fell in love with that album the year I got my driver's license. So to me, that was like the soundtrack of my first independent woman moment.
So how did you even end up writing Mood Ring for Britney Spears?
Mood Ring was okay, so let's rewind. My then music publisher was very close friends with the Chainsmokers manager, Adam Alpert. Adam Alpert had sent my music publisher, who's no longer my publisher, who's an amazing person, very talented music publisher. She received this batch of tracks from the Chainsmokers. Now, mind you, they had just come off Selfie. It had been about a year since Let Me Take a Selfie was sort of a thing. So they were on a bit of a lull. They were sort of, okay, are they going to come back? Are they legitimate musicians? Is this going to be a thing? Nobody really knew at the time. So it was quite like, okay, we've got a batch of Chainsmokers tracks. Let's write a song on that. So I had at the time a co-writer of mine who was a great vocal producer. And I said, do you want to just take a stab at some of these Chainsmokers beats with me? We can write, send it directly. It'll go directly to their manager. So we know at least somebody's going to take a listen. If they don't like it, at least someone will listen. So we write the song called Mood Ring on a Chainsmokers beat, which then eventually, fast forward, came out as the song Waterbed. So if you listen to the song Waterbed by the Chainsmokers, you can actually sing Mood Ring on it because that's the track, the beat where we wrote Mood Ring. So I was like, I have this concept, right? I told my co-writer, I have this concept called Mood Swings. I just think it would be a cool title, Mood Swings. And he's in his kitchen cooking, not really like it was sort of like he was in one world, I was in another world. And he was like, Mood Ring, Mood Swings, Mood Ring. What if it was Mood Ring and we just use mood swing as like a rhyme? And I was like, let's do that. Let's write this song as though the Chainsmokers are going to come out and feature Britney Spears, right? So we write the song in one night. I never ever make videos of me writing songs, but for some reason, I made lots of video recordings of us writing this song. So we write it, we send it off. Chainsmokers come back and they say, we love it, too girly for us. Can you write something else in the same vein as Mood Ring for us? And we're like, of course, no problem. So we keep sending the a cappella of Mood Ring to different producers. The first producer to bite on it was DJ Mustard. DJ Mustard then took it to his team called Twice as Nice. Twice as Nice put some love on it. And my then manager at the time, who no longer manages me, pitched it to Britney Spears' team. It was going to be a single. It was like this huge moment in my life. I was sweating. I was panicking. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. My dream is coming true. Then about a month later, I find out it's off the album. The label fell out of love with it. They don't love it. RCA is not loving it anymore. I laid in bed for 3 days. I was like, how's it possible that a song Britney took the time to go record, put her energy into? It sounded amazing. In fact, when I got the mix back, I was at Box Park in London when I first heard Mood Ring with Britney's voice on it for the first time. So I came back from London, was very depressed, hated everything, knew that the song wasn't going to happen. And then I hear it's going to be on the deluxe edition in Japan. And I was like, you know what? I'll take it. Any Britney Spears, anytime Britney Godney records my music, songs that I helped work on, I will take it, even if it's a Zimbabwe Walgreens edition, whatever. Like, I don't care. Put it to the farthest country away from the United States on the deluxe edition of a store that doesn't even exist in the United States. I don't care. I took it. I was like, I'll take it. And so that's how Mood Ring came to be. That is the short story, the short version.
So when the recording process began, were you even there?
I was not. I was in the UK, actually. When it all went down, I missed the recording because I was on a work trip. I was writing in London.
You must have been gutted.
I was not okay. I was not okay. And I was on the phone with my co-writer who was in Los Angeles at the time. I was on the phone with him, I would say once every hour, just checking in. How did it go? Did you get the vocals? Did you get the stems? Yes, I got the stems. I've got the vocals. I'm editing them now. It was just like nonstop. And it happened to be his birthday when he was editing these vocals. And he's just drinking a bottle of wine, editing Britney Spears vocals on his computer. And I nonstop calling him. It was probably the most stressful birthday of his life.
So on the final mix of the track, you're very much still there, aren't you?
Yes, that's a lot of me.
How come she never recorded the ad-libs herself?
You know, I think that it was meant to be blended a little more. I think that I was meant to be more of like, you know, on her original stuff, like on Baby One More Time, there's a lot of Max Martin in the background. On Oops, I Did It Again, all those big background vocals. That's a lot of Andreas Carlson, Max Martin, the original Charian guys were her background singers. And I just think that was more like sort of like Britney's vocal style was to be Britney up front, background vocals, someone else. So I think that's how they meant it when they mixed it, but she didn't record the ad-libs. So I ended up just being the ad-libs as well as the harmonies.
So you got to do a duet with Britney Spears.
I really did. If you really want to break it down, it's like a duet without a feature.
So Mood Ring got re-released with some remixes last year,
It
and
did.
a lot of us noticed the extra vocal on the opening. There's only one bitch, the real one, Britney.
I have a funny story about that.
Was that recorded in the original session?
Yes. So we had her, well, the vocal producer at the session had her say, can you just do like one of your like iconic talking bits, right? And so she just said, there's only one bitch, the real one, Britney, right? So she said it gets removed. We've had it in the original Mood Ring. Why would we not? But the label requested it removed, so we removed it. And then about, I would like to say 7 months ago, when Mood Ring suddenly by fans' demand was released and they started putting out the remix album with like Lee Dagger and Ape Drums, I get a frantic call from Karen Quack, who was the A&R of the project and who is still kind of caring for that project currently. Karen, a icon in the music industry, calls me and is like, Melanie, who has the original vocal stems? We're looking for Britney's vocal stems. We can't find them. And I'm going, how do you not have them? This song has been out for like 5 years. So I'm like, let me get in touch with my collaborator. He is the one who edited the vocals, right? So let me call him. I called him and I was like, please do me a favor and connect with Karen so you can send the vocal stems to all these remixers because they're putting together a remix album. So I had known there was a remix album coming out for a while. I just didn't know when. And when it came out, I was so happy that they included that iconic Britney moment.
So taking a few steps back, Mood Ring was released on a Japanese edition of Glory.
Yes.
And you were happy with that. What was it like when you realised the fans had got a hold of it and it was building into something much bigger?
It started building on Twitter because I often will just search Mood Ring. I like to see how my songs are being received, good and bad. Just, it's educational for me. I try to grow thick skin. Sometimes it hurts when I read the mean shit, but fuck it. So I just was searching Mood Ring and I noticed like there was like an exceeding number of tweets that was much more than there would normally be. Mood Ring, weirdly, was one of those songs. And once I co-write a song and it's out, I just sort of let it go and let it fly. But for some reason, there was like a rock in my stomach when it came to Britney's Mood Ring. I was like, this song deserved more. It was the most, far be it for me to judge anyone else's writing, but to me, Mood Ring was the most Britney song on Glory. And I feel like the fans agree. It was the most Britney sounding. It was the most old Britney, you know? And so I always had this lump in my gut thinking about it, like it just never got what it really deserved as a song. And so when I started noticing it was the number 4 worldwide trend, then it was like the number 3 worldwide trend. I was like, what is happening? Can this act like it was like waking up from a dream and then having it be real life. Like it doesn't happen. It is unheard of in the music industry for a bonus track that came out half a decade ago to suddenly resurge and without a TikTok without like the boost of a TikTok or like a real or Instagram reel trend. It was trending because of the song, and that there's something to be said about the power of that. So I was just thankful as fuck.
So when the song eventually made its way onto the deluxe edition by fan demand, the fans made the song soar to the top of the charts all over the world and held non-stop streaming parties. How great did it feel to be you in that exact moment?
I just got goosebumps when the words even just came out of your mouth. Like the feeling of being so deeply connected to something that connects with so many other people, to have helped give birth to something like that it's just the highest. It's what every songwriter who becomes a songwriter thinks about during their very first session, during their first write with a big production team. It's what you really dream of. So for me, it was the actualization of a dream that I've had for like 20 years.
So I'll hold my hands up to stealing the song back in 2016, and I've since shown you the receipts that I did buy it when I was legally allowed to, as did all the other fans.
It's okay. You have to.
Did the record label come running back to you looking for anything else you might have hidden away in the vault?
They did. They reached out for actually a new song. About a couple weeks after Mood Ring was starting to pop, but then nothing ever happened with it. So as much as I know about what happened to the song that they requested. So there's RCA, and the team is really hungry for Britney to start something new, I believe. However, I don't think Britney's in a recording mood. Her mood ring is not record right now. Her mood ring is like, go to Hawaii with my hot ass boyfriend.
Her mood ring is blue.
Her mood ring is turned from golden to blue.
So how did it feel to know that your song kicked off the label having to dig into their own vaults looking for all these unfinished tracks to release as singles, such as Swimming in the Stars and Matches?
It meant the world to me to know like something I did was good enough. We songwriters don't have high self-esteem most of the time. But it was incredible to go, wow, something I did was actually good enough to get people off their asses to start paying more attention to this project that should have gotten way more love upon its original release. It was just amazing. It was just, there's no other word to describe it other than being awestruck, honored, just fucking mind blown.
So when the song was originally cancelled and you spent 3 days in bed crying, do you wish you could go back and tell yourself that not only will it be re-released and hit #1, but the label would stick another 3 versions of it out there because it was that popular?
I would have told me to fuck off, you lying bitch. But if I could go back, I as a songwriter need to learn how to not take shit so personally. But it's like a painting, right? Like, when I write a song, it's like I painted this piece of art. I thought it was beautiful. I put it up in my museum, and then people came and stood by it and went,
let's use it as a dartboard.
Yeah, anytime you do something that is, you make something that can be subjectively beautiful, you run the risk of people saying it is subjectively ugly, right? So I need to work on thickening my skin. But back then, if I feel like my skin is a little thin now, shit, my skin was like a schnitzel in Vienna, thin, paper thin back then.
Her team are famous for being horrendously strict and extremely difficult to work with. Did you encounter any of that during the recording process?
I did not. Mood Ring was, for me, one of the easiest songs to place. It felt as if no one else in the world could sing it other than Britney. And when it got into the hands of Britney via my team, and it got into the hands of Britney's team via Britney, it just went. It grew its own wings. We didn't run into any publicity difficulty. In fact, when I did a Billboard interview last May, when it came out, what month was it that it came out? It's like
May, June.
It was like this whole last 10 months has been just like, I have no idea. I don't even know what month it is now. Are we in February? Is it June? Who knows? I live in LA, so it's always warm. But when it happened, we experienced none of the what people have always said to be a difficult team. We just ran into people that loved the music and were behind it. And then they weren't behind it, but then they were behind it again, but only a little. So it was like, we just kind of ran into some wishy-washy feelings on the suit side of thing, but on the creative side of things, very, very easy peasy. Went like, it just got written, sent out, recorded, cut, mixed, and it was out. I don't know if there was any drama between like the production team and Britney's like conservatorship stuff. I don't know if there was any drama in that realm of the world, but for us as songwriters, it was like nothing. It was so easy.
How emotional are you going to be when she performs it live?
I'm going to die. I'm going to need a coffin made. I will need to start fashioning my coffin soon.
You should volunteer to go up and sing your ad-libs live for us.
Oh my God. Call me, Britney. I miss you. But it was amazing. When I did my Billboard interview, she actually commented and posted it and then reposted my post where I tagged her. So I was like, okay, so she knows who I am. I'm not alive. I must be dead. I must have died, gone to heaven.
Being such a massive Britney Spears fan, I assume you've already watched Framing Britney Spears.
Yes, I have.
What are your thoughts?
Troubling. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, Rihanna is only able to go out to an award show with her tits out because Britney Spears took those bullets for her a decade ago. Lady Gaga is only allowed to be as, avant-garde and sexually adventurous in her music videos because Britney Spears did that in Slave for You and was just demolished by parents and people around the world and interviewers. And this was something we already knew. It was just really hard to watch it laid out.
So Melanie Fontana is Free Britney.
I am 100% Free Britney.
Have you been outside the courthouse waving your banners?
I would not be waving my banner outside the courthouse just because the vid is out there. But
Miss Rona.
Were it not the vid, I would be with my banners outside going, Britney!
The Pandora. So moving on from Britney Spears, you've worked with some amazing artists. You've worked with Dua Lipa, Justin Bieber. But who's been the most difficult artist to work with?
What's funny is the successful artists I have worked with, like the really successful ones, they know themselves inside and out. They know who they are. There's no questioning. It's oftentimes the up and coming artists, which I don't want to call them B-level artists, but people that aren't as well known, people that maybe just got a record deal. Those are the fuck. Those are the ones where you're like, just pick an identity and run with it. My God.
Oh my God. Do you know we have something in common?
What is that?
We have both been horrendously trolled by BTS fans.
Oh no.
So my iPhone autocorrected a tweet I sent once by accident when I asked, who is this Jimin guy? And my phone changed it to Jimmy, and I woke up the next morning to 40,000 tweets dragging me with my personal favourite insult of all time. Stay away from him, you hot dog smelling bitch.
Ooh, I love that one. I've gotten rotten mayonnaise cracker whore. That's a fun one. I love that. Rotten mayonnaise on a cracker whore. My husband has gotten stinky cheese.
I mean, the insults are solid gold, aren't they? They're like something off the Disney Channel. I'm
like, well, because I do believe, look, the internet is nothing to be fucked with. I got doxxed. They put out my phone number. I've had to change my phone number. Mine all began similarly. I made my music publisher is Universal Music. They do not represent BTS. I love BTS. They're some of the most talented, driven. When I say like pro, it is like on off. Like they turn it on and they are just the most well-organized, well-rehearsed act in the world, dare I say. But my music publisher, they don't represent BTS. So they decided to do a little congratulations post to me for working with BTS. And they posted they took a picture from my Instagram, Universal Music did, and they posted, congratulations, Melanie, for writing with BTS and breaking Adele's world record of most worldwide number ones. ever with BTS's V's Sweet Night, a song that I wrote the English lyrics to, and the melody was written by V from BTS. And this was done over email, so we actually never got to communicate on the song. It was just like he emailed the melody, the team emailed it to me, I emailed back the lyrics, and that's how the song happened. Broke all these records, was super fun. I was really honored, and I went to bed having seen, I just glimpsed at the Universal post, didn't notice. I woke up to over like 500,000 tweets, being doxxed, my phone number being leaked. I had like 6,000 FaceTimes that I missed, over 6,000 FaceTimes. Death threats, I know where you live, I'm going to burn down your house, I know your cat, I'm going to behead your cat if I see it. Just like some of the worst things you could ever say to a human being. And for like 3 months, I questioned writing music altogether, because it wasn't just me getting a few names called. It wasn't a few name calls. I was the number 3 worldwide Twitter trending topic for a day, my name, because Universal didn't properly word their post. And then they went back and looked at some interviews I did where I used the word my song. Like I said, yeah, like it was so crazy to see my song at Staples Center blowing up. Like it was the most amazing moment of my life to see BTS performing my song. And I guess it's impolite to them to use pronouns like mine and my when you talk about BTS, because I guess BTS has gone through some stuff where the fans believe BTS has been mistreated or used by Western people. So not only did they dox me, and I mean, like changing your phone number when you like have bank accounts and contacts of 20 years in your phone. I had my 646 New York number for almost 20 years. It altered everything. It altered how I spoke about my music. It made me shrink. I shrank as a person because I was afraid to be proud, because I was told by so many people, you're not allowed to be proud because you didn't do anything. You didn't write those songs. They wrote those songs. You're lying. And then in my head, I'm going, am I lying? Like, did I not sit in my studio and write Boy With Love with my husband? What? Like I was literally questioning existence when millions and millions of people are telling you, please die, die, die.
They trolled me for a week solid because my phone auto-corrected the name.
Because Jimin is not an English word. Jimin is a name that is popular in Korea. Jimin is probably just the romanization of something as well. So there might be multiple ways that one who is named Jimin in Korea might be spelling their name. So it's literally your iPhone, and people are so quick to jump down people's throats these days because we have this phone, like knock, knock, knock. I'm talking to you on a phone. I could tell you to fuck off, hang up on you, and I have no consequence. These children and these fans have never experienced consequence to what they do because there is none. How do we fix that?
They were relentless with me. So what advice would you give to people being trolled online? And how did you overcome it?
Well, my first mistake when I was being trolled was reading some of the stuff. My first action as someone being trolled would be delete. Do not open DMs. Make your account private for as long as you have to. Like, for instance, my Twitter is private because that's where I get the most harassment and most abuse is on Twitter. Make your account private just for a little while, which is what I'm doing. I'll probably go public again. I just want to wait till I feel safe. Firstly, make your account private. It cuts down on so many horrible things. And I know it feels like you're sort of hiding from it, but actually you're the strong one because you're the one protecting your peace. So protect your peace by not reading it. Delete everything and do not reply to anyone because a reply makes you real. When you're on the internet, you're a character. You're a caricature. You're a profile picture in a bubble, right? When you start interacting with people, it makes you real. And you break the fantasy. These kids want this fantasy that they're yelling into a void, getting out their anger at someone. I feel like not just fans of K-pop, but just people on the internet in general is what I'm talking about. They feel like this is our new scream therapy, right? So my first piece of advice is delete, 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 private, private, private. And my third piece of advice is if it lasts a while and you do feel the urge to reply from the reply from a place of you go high while they go low. Obama said that, I think. They go low, we go high. Let them go low.
You must be so glad Trump's gone.
It's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, while at the same time, I'm like looking over my shoulder going, okay, shit, 2024 is coming up. He might run again. Fuck. We are this family, me and my husband, we're very anti-war. We're very passive. I don't even like that Biden went and bombed Syria as much as he's like this peaceful, like well-spoken man. It's not my vibe. But for me, having Trump in office was me going to bed at night wondering, are we going to get bombed by Iran tonight because Trump is going to tweet something stupid? There's just a lot of anxiety just living day to day. And it's also, I feel less embarrassed to say I'm American.
I mean, from over here, we were watching, like looking over there, like, what the hell are they doing in America? And I watched the inauguration just to make sure he was gone.
Yeah, I watched too. I'd never watched an inauguration. I wasn't, I was that typical privileged person who was like, I don't like politics. I don't care about politics up until like 2013, 2014. Pretty ashamed to say I never voted. And then there were talks of this reality show star running for president, and suddenly like my ears perked up and I'm going, maybe I need to pay attention to this. Maybe this actually affects the lives of people I care about. Shit. Oh my God, this whole time I should have cared. But it was so boring back then that you almost felt like you didn't have to care because the grown-ups would have it handled for you. And then you like look down and you're like, oh, there's a wrinkle and my elbows look funny. I'm a grown-up now.
We're old ladies now.
I should vote. I should care.
Yeah.
And it really helped that my husband is super into politics and my friends are super into politics. So it was just like, okay, cool. I came from an ignorant place and now I feel like I'm very educated on it now. And I'm still don't know as much as I wish I knew about politics, but truly it is miles from where I began in 2013, 2014.
So it looks like the Pandora's coming to its eventual end.
Bye, Pandora.
What future projects have you got in the pipeline? Who are you going to be working with?
Well, I would love to work with Skrillex. We worked once during the pandemic. I would love to work with Marshmello. We worked, again, somebody I worked with during the pandemic. I would love to, like I said earlier, Selena Gomez, Ariana Grande. I feel like these are artists that I connect with on like a person-to-person level. Like I feel like I like working with people I feel like I could be friends with, because I didn't choose this career path to sit at a desk and work amongst people I dislike. I didn't choose this completely unstable, wishy-washy career because I wanted to like spend time with people I don't want to spend time with. So for me, I want to work with people I feel like are my friends. And I feel like I could be friends with, the Aries of the world. I just feel like we would get on in the studio so well. Selena too. I love her so much. I love her voice. I love her whole vibe. I love her message. So I would love to work alongside the talent of that caliber and continue on the path I'm on. I'm very lucky to write with the people I write with and work with the people I work with. It's literally like an honor every time I get into a room with these friends of mine. I can't believe these are my friends. I can't believe I get to call these people every day and say, hey, like, did you wrap up the drums on such and such a song for so-and-so? My life is a very lucky dream come true.
Have you started writing any songs for Britney's new album yet?
I have not.
Liar.
I know. I swear, I will tell you when I get the call that it is on. Because oftentimes in the music industry, we work for free for the most part. Like when I go into a room with someone, it's like you start a song, you write it, and then you hope it'll get on the album or go to radio. So sometimes when you just write a song for somebody and there's no direct connection or no album in mode, like, there's no album to be made, it's sort of like a waste of time to give up a great concept or a great melody or a great idea on something that isn't even in the creative process yet. So with Britney, it's sort of like I am just waiting at the starting line in position, waiting for the gun to fire so I can start working more on that project, because nothing would make me more fulfilled than doing another Britney Spears song that people can listen to and go, oh my God, this is the Britney. This is the Britney we needed. And that's what got my heart, is when people would say like, wow, like Mood Ring really is reminiscent of the Britney we all love. The Britney at her most vibrant, the Britney before lawyers and legal and conservatorship kind of stole the spotlight from her. And so to me, the highest compliment was people saying, this is reminiscent of the Britney I fell in love with. And that's all I want to do with her, is write songs that make people go, this is the Britney that we love and need.
So if anyone fancies becoming a songwriter, making music, or even just working with you, how would they go about it?
Okay, so I'm constantly collaborating with people from all over the world. All you have to do is hit my manager or hit my public email. And if you have something that sounds impressive, I am never one to turn down somebody just because they're not working in, the music industry in LA or London or Korea. Like, I am a person that likes to hear raw talent and go, let's collaborate, because who knows what could come of this? Who knows what kind of magic we could make together as co-writers? So that's pretty much how to do it. And if someone wants to become a songwriter, like in a more broad sense of the word, just get GarageBand on your laptop. I believe it's free if you have an Apple. Get some sort of recording software. Learn how to record your own vocals. Download instrumentals off YouTube, off iTunes, off wherever you can, and just practice songwriting. You can get beats on SoundCloud for pretty much free. Practice your craft. Listen to the radio. And even if you don't have like the most high-tech recording software or recording scenario, check your material against what's on the radio. Does it compare? And if it doesn't, keep working. And don't send shit out before it's ready. That's I never send shit out before it's ready. I don't like sending out scratch, rough. I like things to sound complete, smooth, wrapped, finished. So if you're sending out like, hey, like this is a really rough, terrible, not finished idea, I'm like, why didn't you finish it before you sent it to me?
I am in no way, shape, or form a songwriter in the sense that you are, but occasionally a song will be on like the radio and I'll hear my own lyrics, so I use like the voice memo on my phone to record it, before I forget it.
Yes, that is how I started writing songs. I used to take the instrumentals to songs like You Drive Me Crazy, or
Oh my God, I remember writing a song to Crazy as well. Mine was like, baby, it's time to go. You cannot rush it when we take it slow.
I wrote a song on Christina Aguilera's I Turn to You, and I'm trying to remember what it was. I might have it in a notebook here, but it was like, I run from you. Instead of I turn to you, it was I run from you.
You should hire me.
You know what? I really should. I honestly should.
You're such a liar, Melanie.
I'm a lying little bitch.
You're a hot dog smelling bitch. I read that on Twitter.
You read it on Twitter. No, it honestly, dude, that shit it happened, the doxing happened on the 15th of July, and it did not stop till it still hasn't stopped. Every day, if you search my name on Twitter, there's something terrible. Normalize blaming everything on Melanie Fontana. Wow, such an original burn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, scolding, innit? Get some milk for that burn, Melanie. Get some milk for that burn.
Ow.
So when are you going to work with the queen of pop, Ashley Tisdale?
Is she back? She's recording now, isn't she?
I think she's about to, crap out a baby. I don't think she's quite there yet.
No, but people record well there. But Kelly Clarkson did a whole album while she was pregnant.
I love Ashley Tisdale, but she blocked me on Twitter for the most stupidest tweet I've ever seen in my entire life.
How dare she, and why did she block you?
Okay, you know how things can only happen to me?
Of course.
Of course. So she had a water feature installed in her garden, and then she was in a bikini, but she was posing behind the water jet, all suggestive like this. For people that can't see, I'm just trying to arch my back. And all I said is that an outdoor bidet?
And blocked. She blocked you.
Blocked. And I have hard copies of her albums. I even bought the Little Mermaid soundtrack just to get Kiss the Girl.
And
this is how she treats me.
Let me tweet Ashley Tisdale and be like, your greatest mistake in life was blocking Leigh. True. Wait, so it's quite easy. So I've been noticing lately, I've had a lot of friends getting blocked by people on social media, like very big celebrities. And I'm wondering, is it just they're so sensitive that
There's a verified tab.
okay.
So if you've got a blue tick and you tweet someone else with a blue tick, your tweet stays at the top the entire time, so they see it every single time.
See, I'm verified on Instagram and on Facebook, but for some reason Twitter I've never requested, or they've never.
Oh, it's because you're on private.
It is because I'm on private, probably. But I probably, after this whole doxing thing that happened to me, I probably could have been verified, but I just was like, well, you know what? Let me save myself some agony, put myself on private for a while.
So while you're hiding on Twitter, whose next record can we find you on? Who are you working with?
Well, I've been working a lot with Mabel. So we maybe have some Mabel stuff.
I love Mabel.
And her mom too. Nana Cherry. What's really funny is I worked with Mabel just weeks after Nana Cherry was featured on the Good in Bed remix by Dua Lipa. So in a way, I've kind of worked with Mabel and her mom.
Oh my God.
So hopefully got some Mabel stuff coming out. Hopefully some Anne-Marie stuff coming out very soon. I've got a lot of like my UK girls in the house right now.
I think when you come to the UK, we need to get drinks.
We got to get drinks. We need like a whole night of it, especially like the fact that I haven't traveled overseas in over a year. It's going to be like losing my travel virginity all over again. I'm just going to be hammered and blacked out and asleep by 3:00 in the afternoon.
I'll hold your hair back for you.
Please hold my hair back.
Right, Melanie, this has been amazing. Thank you for doing this.
Oh my God. It was the fucking absolute pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, babe.
This has been an absolute eye-opener. Thank you for giving me all the information I needed on Mood Ring.
Of course. We love Mood Ring. We love Britney. We stand Britney forever.
And how can I get my hands on those demos?
Oh my gosh. Shh. I'll send you some later.
I love you so much. All right, then bye.
Bye, honey.
Come get the tea from me. LVB.